The woman in your life will do what she must do to comfort you and calm you down and let you rest now. The woman in your life, she can rest so easily.
Hello everybody and welcome to Women's Spaces. My name is Elaine Holtz and I am your host. And as always, I'm extremely excited about my show. Today I have a special guest with me by the name of Judy Baker. And Judy is a marketing and business consultant and also is a certified action plan marketing course. And she owns the business Completely Creative. And I'm really thrilled about having her here. But what I would like to express before we get into this, because Judy does work with women and men, I mean businesses of all sorts, but because this is a women's show, we're going to focus pretty much on women and women in business and some of their challenges. And prior to talking to Judy about coming on the show, I did a little bit of research. And what I found out that as of 2006, there are an estimated 7.7 million, that equates to 51% or more of women-owned firms in the United States, which accounts for 29.7% of all the businesses owned in our country. I mean, hey, my hat's off to all those women out there who have the courage to step up to the plate and open up those doors and create a business for themselves. And so to help and to support that a little bit, I want to introduce Judy Baker. Welcome to Women's Spaces, Judy.
Thank you, Elaine.
You know, it's a real pleasure to have you here. You know, we met at a marketing meeting, and I was so impressed with what you had to say that I just had to have you on the show. But before we start, the way I like to do it is have my guests just give us a little bit of background. Who is Judy Baker? You know, where do you come from? You know, I know you're married. Your husband was so gracious. He just called me. Just anything that you feel comfortable telling our listeners.
Okay. Well, I have a background. I grew up in San Diego, and I went to San Diego State where I was a theater major. And my migration north was spurred by an audition with ACT. But I really had in mind I was going to stay up here whether or not I became an actress. And from that transition, I then went into human resources. And from there, I went into marketing. And I look at the theme that connects all of those as being communication. It's about expressing yourself, being authentic, and really helping people understand what you have to say and being clear about it.
You know, that's interesting. So you went to school to become an actress.
Yes.
And then you kind of diverted yourself. How did that happen? I mean, what were some of the issues that came forward at that time that helped you make the shift?
Well, I didn't think I could make a living being an actress. I let fear overrule what my passion was. And it was only, about a month ago when I was at a coaching seminar that I realized all of my life, what I really wanted to do was to communicate and being a teacher and being an educator. And that was really what drew me into acting. So I went away from that path for quite a long time, and now I'm back being exactly who I should be, completely creative.
Well, you know, it's interesting when you say that, you know, and you start talking about being completely creative and the idea that you had fear, so you couldn't follow what your passion was, then all of a sudden finding out when you redirected yourself that this is actually where you should be. You know, it's very interesting. What were, at the beginning, what were some of your major challenges? I mean, it had to be kind of a little bit of a letdown to say, okay, I'm not going to pursue the acting career, but now I'm going to move in this direction. What were some of your challenges, particularly from the perspective of being a woman?
Well, I think it was the idea that I didn't have the credibility that I needed to go back to school to be taken seriously. It wasn't about what I knew or what I didn't know. It was really about competing in a way that I felt I needed to have more, initials after my name and more formal schooling, when in truth, I already knew the information. And I think a lot of women think that because they're women, they have to try harder. that it's not about trying harder, it's about being exactly who you are and being comfortable with it and letting your energy and your spirit come through you. You can always go back to school if that suits you, if you're going to learn more skills. But if you already know the information, it's not about degrees. It's about doing the work. It's about being real. And I think I didn't learn that until I was much older.
Well, you know, it's interesting when you talk about being real and career shifts and finding your passion. You know, I can share a little bit of my story. You know, here I am doing a television show,
Right.
and it's always been my passion to communicate, to be able to inspire people, to move
Yes.
people forward. And it seems like everything I've done, even though there might not be a title, TV host or something that grandiose, I was
Yeah.
still always doing that. Trying to inspire people, trying to encourage people, and
Right.
always increasing and improving my own communication skills. But I believe it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't tried. So tell us a little bit about, okay, all of a sudden did you decide to become a consultant? Did you move into the field? What took place? Give us a
Oh,
little
boy.
background.
Well, after trying to fit into corporate positions for about 15 years, it became very obvious that I would come into situations and I would see what was wrong and I'd want to fix it. But most corporate cultures move very, very, very slowly. And being a very headstrong person, I was impatient and I couldn't wait. And I think that was what propelled me into studying organizational development and human resources, because it's all about how do people work together and how do they understand each other and cooperate and what gets in the way of that. And so I recognized that I was much better as a kind of an outsider coming in and giving an objective opinion rather than trying to be part of a culture that I always wanted to change. And I'm really a change agent, and I inspire people to get rid of the baggage that's not working for them and really move forward into what really fits them.
You know, those are very, very important concepts, what you're talking about. This is Elaine Holtz with Women's Spaces saying goodbye until the next time.
The woman in your life will do what she must do to comfort you and calm you down and let you rest now. The woman in your life, she can rest so easily. She knows everything you do because the